There's a new BBC documentary called Children of the Bombs, which talks about the crude bomb culture in West Bengal. Directed by Ronny Sen and reported by Tanushri Pandey, the documentary goes through several newspaper reports in West Bengal to say that between the years 1999 and 2024, 565 children were either killed, grievously injured, or maimed by these bombs. One of the survivors of this crude bomb menace that the makers of the documentary spoke to is a girl called Paulomi Halder, who was barely 7 years old when a crude bomb exploded in her hands. Now, Paulomi had gone out to pluck flowers, and near the neighbor's hand pump, she saw something that looked like a ball. She picked it up and brought her home. Seeing it, her grandmother screamed that throw it away. It's a bomb. But before she could do it, it exploded, maiming her for life. Like Ptolemy, Sabina also lost her arms and also her eyes got affected when she picked up a bomb, a crude bomb, which she thought was a ball. Across West Bengal, in its many villages and small towns, these bombs are used during elections, mostly panchayat elections. They are thrown at each other by political rivals. Sometimes these bombs don't explode, and they can be found, outside schools, on cricket fields, near a neighbor's house, and children often mistake these bombs for cricket balls. And when they pick them up, like Sabina did and like Polomi did, they explode in their hands, maiming them, killing them. Pankaj Datta, former Inspector General of West Bengal Police, who the makers of the film, of the documentary film, spoke to, said that it's very easy to make these bombs. It's also very easy to find people to make these bombs. But he says that this culture of throwing bombs at political adversaries goes back a long way in Bengal. It goes all the way to 1908 when armed revolutionaries Khudiram Bose and Prafulla Chaki threw a bomb at a British magistrate and killed two English women. Ever since then, during all through the armed revolution against the British Empire, and even later during the Naxal Revolution, and before that during the Great Calcutta killings of 1946, the crude bomb culture in Bengal has persisted. Now, Datta says that perhaps it is during the 1946 Great Calcutta killings that Bengal knew that crude bombs could be used to deadly ends in order to unleash political violence and in order to occupy a para. I spoke to Shantanu Mukherjee, the grandson of Gopal Mukherjee, who was a key figure during the 1946 Great Calcutta killings, who said that to blame the crude bomb culture on the Great Calcutta killings would not be right. Mukherjee said that just like the freedom struggle, armed freedom struggle against the British, even during the Great Calcutta killings, his grandfather, Gopal Mukherjee, more famously known as Gopal Patha, used crude bombs and firearms in order to save the city of Calcutta. But there's something interesting. Debapratim Ghotok, the writer of a new book on political violence in West Bengal during the long 34 years of the left rule, said. He said that his book, incidentally, is called The Original Lynch Mob. And he lays the blame for this culture of crude bombs during elections. He blames the left for it. He says that it is during the 34 years of left rule that this culture really grew and spread across West Bengal and continues till date. What is very interesting is that the makers of this film spoke to all political parties and they asked the specific questions whether they're aware of this, whether they support this, and whether knowingly or unknowingly they have allowed this culture of crude bombs to carry on. Now, while the CPM and the Congress vociferously said no, interestingly, the Trinamool Congress and the BJP, which is the principal opposition party in West Bengal, they did not answer these questions. But I also spoke to academic Dr. Ayon Guha, who researches caste in West Bengal. And Dr. Guha told me that it is outside the bubble of mainstream Calcutta. That is why people do not talk about the menace of the crude bomb culture. He says that the victims of these crude bombs are people at the margins, people who belong to the lower classes slash lower castes, and that is perhaps why there will be no end to this culture of crude bombs anytime soon. He says that this definitely has a caste angle to this, Dr. Guha says, because it's the subalterns of Bengal who use these bombs most often and who also most often get affected by it.